Hello and welcome to our podcast. This is Mr. Echo. I'm Mr. R. And here we have a guest, Mr.
Big Dick.
Big Dick Ramesh.
No
Now
promise.
Just Big Dick.
Just
Just
Mr.
Big
Big
Dick. Yeah.
Mr. Big Dick. Who has a small dick, by the way.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen
That was just a joke.
It was a joke, was it?
No.
He doesn't know. You peeking into other people's urinals. Anyways, today I wanted to start this podcast by ranting out about the Super Bowl. One thing that I did not like about the Super Bowl was that they did not play Sweet Victory in that halftime show. They showed this 3-second clip of Squidward introducing this guy, and then I don't even know the singer, this idiot. Go dislike that video or whatever. And guess what? NFL decided to upload that video, got so many dislikes, downloaded remove that upload and re-uploaded it again just so that they could download. I'm such an idiot. You played with my feelings, man. Maroon 5, Adam Levine. I used to like your songs. I think I'm gonna like them still, but like you played with my heart. He should write a song about this.
Play with my heart.
Anyways, so Tom Brady won his sixth championship ring, and he's 6-3 in the Super Bowl. That's an amazing record. He reached Super Bowl 9 times, and he has won 6 times. And it's not like a football team where you might have like a core player. The roster changes a lot, so he hasn't won with the same team.
Okay.
He's won with like a different set of people 6 times, and he's reached the Super Bowl 9 times. And to reach the Super Bowl once is a big deal.
9 times and 6 rings.
Yeah.
6 into.
I'm not a
Infinity Stone, right?
and I'm not a New England Patriots fan. I'm a Saints fan, and we was robbed in the game before the Super Bowl.
We was robbed.
We was robbed.
Nigga.
Oh, it was wrong.
Oh,
no,
shit,
don't.
We
Don't
talked
use
about this last episode, man. We can't use that.
That word, yeah.
Or can we? We don't know.
We
Who
don't
are-
know.
we don't know.
Who are we to?
It's a fictional universe where we make the rules.
We might be African American ourselves in this universe. You don't know.
So you're choosing, you're going to
No.
liberal right, where you identify as an African American. We're not making this as a joke. Like, this is out there. There are people going through surgery and stuff, identifying as African Americans or people from other race, and we have no, like,
We don't have race in this universe.
It's
in
like-
our fictional universe.
no, we do have race, like 100-meter relay.
Yeah, of course.
No, 400-meter relay, 100 meters, a marathon. Those are all races, good races,
Good races.
Yeah, so I'm not supporting him, but congratulations, Tom Brady. You're actually one of the greatest players, and I'm happy that Bill Burr is gonna go crazy in his house, like getting that huge, like dip up avocado in his chip, and then just eating that. And talking about sports this week, Nepal.
Yeah, Nepal won. Won against UAE, right?
Yeah, and they
It's
won
a
that
very,
cricket match.
Very good victory.
And people who don't watch cricket, I'm gonna say the things told to me in the U.S. by other people.
Mm-hmm.
Do your goddamn job. Just learn about cricket. Do what the Romans do in Rome. Yeah, if you want to be like that, I'll be like that. Anyways, and they're making us proud, and they're not going to the other countries and going through going abroad and settling there, and they're making a good example and showing every kid out there who's like 4 or 5 or 10 years old that if you know how to play cricket well or any sport well, you can still succeed in Nepal, which wasn't possible back in the day. And to really think, it's only been 22 years that cricket has been like a national sport.
Sports, yeah.
Well, like not like the national sport, but I mean like a national sport where we show participation. Our cricket.
We have a national team.
Yeah, we have a national team. It was 1997, right?
97.
But the thing about it is our cricket association of Nepal was called CAN.
It is called CAN.
It was. They dissolved it. ICC dissolved it. We don't have it anymore.
Is it?
Yeah, we have a cricket team and we don't have a functioning body to govern it. Think about how much struggle our players have had to have. it's very hard, and
And they're still winning.
yes,
That's
and
amazing.
and going to our topic today, it's like about educational consultancies that send students abroad to Australia, Europe, USA, or foreign countries to study.
Anywhere in the world
Yeah.
except
Like,
Nepal.
have you used any of those services? I haven't. I chose my own personal belief not to use services from one
No,
when I went
haven't.
abroad. What about you? How many of your friends have gone through like a consultancies?
A lot of
them.
Lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I chose not to go through that route because I knew that there are some people who get help from those consultancies, but I wasn't one of them.
Yeah,
Because-
many people did that.
Yeah.
Like you did.
Like going through their own effort. Yeah, and I think if you take a while and apply yourself, if your aim is to go to a foreign country and study there, you should do the research on your own. The amount of money you spend on a consultancy is actually wasted if you're gonna sit around and play cricket or futsal every day and then just pay them money and they're gonna send you to some shit tier university or someplace you don't even know.
exactly.
And you could have done better if you just did research on your own. And I'm not saying that everybody is capable sometimes.
Actually, there's a point in going through consultancies. If you're going to Australia or Europe, certain consultancy do not accept your application directly. You have to come-
universities, certain
yeah,
universities,
yeah.
you mean?
Most university in Australia do not entertain you directly applying.
Wow, I did not know that.
You have to go through a consultancy.
But here's the other part to our viewers. If you're trying to go to Australia, I've heard of this system where if you have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, and if you get above a 65 points in their permanent residency or whatever system, if your aim is to do that, I'm not saying you should do this. I'm not saying anybody should do this. But if your aim is to do that, if you can spend X amount of money on taking tests and verifying your certificates from colleges here, you can actually migrate there as a permanent resident instead of getting a master's degree. Isn't that funny? Like, people spend so much money going through a consultancy and doing that. I'm not saying a consultancy. I'm not asking any of those consultancy businesses. You do you. If you want to make money that way. If you
want to
go,
sponsor us, you can
sponsor us.
as well.
We will do it. Like, we're capitalists.
Yeah.
We don't really care, except for environmental issues. I hate sponsoring some morally bankrupt non-environmental company. But apart from that, you can do that. And we're just trying to outline like what are their other options available, because I'm one of those individuals who use one of those other options and might say I was successful. And because of that, I feel I didn't have a lot of problems going through my own process. I didn't spend a lot of money on a separate entity instead of just having that money and going over to some country and just spending my money over there. Went to a different topic other than this. What about the traffic jams in like the Koteshwar and like the Pepsi Cola area, man? Because we live there. I have to go from here to my home from there, and then if I walk from here to my place, it's faster to go that way. If I go after 6 p.m. or early on in the morning, if you ride on a bus, you're probably going to spend 15 to 30 minutes in that little junction over there. Like, how do you feel about that?
This is not unsolvable. There's a junction, and you can build underpasses or anything else. The government is not focused on that. I don't know how to
Address that issue.
Yeah.
The other thing about it is, you can't simply build an underpass or like a diversion over there, because that little passage or road is stuck between two different government entities. One's the airport, the only international airport. The other one's army back. So both are like very security sensitive areas. So if you're planning to do construction over there, even if you're trying to increase the width of the area and then modulate it, you can't. You have you have a limited amount of land to expand into in
But
that
they
area.
did expand some years ago. It was really narrow, and they took a little from the army, a little from the airport, and they did expand it to 6 lanes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Looking at that, like, man, I don't think that's a 6 lane like road. Like, how is that a
Okay.
6 lane road? Because there's
Including the footpath, it's 6 lane. Yeah.
come on, and also it's because the time when they expanded that road, they didn't anticipate the amount of traffic going through that road. It serves as a highway almost when you're trying to go to the eastern part of Nepal, right?
Mhm.
If you're trying to go to the BP highway, if you want to go to Dhulikhel, if you want to go to Bonipa, if you want to go to Dolkhao, anywhere. So it serves as that. So even apart from that, you have local buses, and apart from that, you have private vehicles, especially motorcycles,
Mhm.
and that's very hard. And I would say remove remove a footpath from there like altogether. Get 2 separate motorcycle lanes and get the footpath. Get like a sky bridge or whatever, and get a footpath through there. If you do that, people will be able to travel through that path very easily. And it's not like the whole path. It starts from like the Koteshwar Chowk and ends at like that Jadi Booty bridge. They're trying to expand the bridge. I really like it, but that whole thing is like a bottleneck. You can't like you can put as much alcohol or water into that bottle, but it's gonna only fit at a certain rate given the size of the bottleneck, and that's gonna stop. And other than that, the only thing I like about that area is like the Lumbini Vojanale that I see there.
Mini tandoori bhojana.
Yeah. Now, how many how many
Dainik Lumbini Tandoori.
Bhojana? How many of those have you seen like in Kathmandu alone?
I think I've seen like in Jaulakhel.
Okay.
1, 2, I guess over there.
In Jaulakhel
Jaulakhel
too,
too, yeah, I guess.
Is it like a franchise?
Yeah.
I don't
Kind
think
of,
it's
I
a
don't know.
franchise. No, it's
But-
totally separate entities.
but-
Yeah.
But they are
Like everybody has a
Many.
name.
Everybody has Lumini tandoori.
I remember when we
Everybody.
were talking about this on the bus,
Yeah.
right at Vanishur Chowk, and then there's one right across the street.
We
And
saw
also-
that, we started talking,
and then
we
turned
looked-
around on the other side.
There
There's
was-
two across the street. It's one's right next to the UFO store,
Yeah.
like the clothing store in the Manishwar like Chowk, and the other one's exactly on the opposite side, where like
UFO?
like the clothing store.
Where is that? Oh,
You
like,
know,
yeah, I know that.
like the radio, whatever.
Yeah,
there's
bakery cafe.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
exactly,
opposite of
exactly
that.
that.
yeah, exactly. It's funny, man. I'd be and there's one in like every like major like center in Kathmandu. Like everywhere you go, there's a Lumini Tandoor. I bet there's one like right around the corner here. And then, to be honest, their tandoori is really good, and the naan is really good. I trust the Lumini Tandoori Bhojana. And the other one that I've seen is Palpali, right next to it. Either it's Palpali or it's Lumbini.
There is so many tandoori house in Jaulakhel. I've been there. Like, I can recommend you one that is main tandoori, which is
Tandoori.
also nice.
Name is Main
Main
Tandoori.
tandoori,
Okay.
yeah. That's also nice.
Main
And there are
tandoori.
lots of tandoori
Main
house.
tandoori.
Yeah.
Main tandoori.
Main tandoori, you know.
Yeah.
And that's
There are a lot of tandooris, and we are the main tandoori.
That's really
main
good.
tandoori. you thought I was gonna say something in the corner? No, I was just going with the flow. What else did you want to talk about? Like I remember, like you said something about like
Coffee shops.
Coffee shops?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead. Talk about coffee shops.
And we met a guy who's opening up a coffee shop, right?
Yeah, where? Like the one like
The one we did collab with.
Oh, you mean the guy right next to the Jodi Booty bridge, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We did a YouTube collaboration with this young upcoming YouTuber called Sankalpa Kaki. It's funny that we're young and upcoming YouTubers too. But Sankalpa Kaki, go check out his videos. Little plug, and if you're watching this, Sankalpa, we did the plug for you.
Yeah.
He's studying MBBS in Bangladesh, and he seems like a really good guy. And then he seemed like enthusiastic, and he's been doing this for like
2 or 3
3
years.
years, longer than us, and
A lot.
a lot longer. And then it's good, And he was excited to meet fellow YouTubers, and we met at like a Momo, like a Momo joint. Like it's not a Momo joint. It's not like related to marijuana. It's just a place where you get Momo.
Momo Joint.
Like imagine you could make a Momo joint from tobacco.
From tobacco, of course.
So you could make a Momo joint, right? And then you could roll it, and then inside it,
You take the paper, you put tobacco, and then
make a Momo.
momo out of it.
And how do you smoke it?
You put it in a bong or something. Is that
Or
possible?
better yet,
Momo
oh,
joint.
this
This
is
is
copyrighted. You can't sell this
No,
product.
No.
No, instead of yomari, like yomari is basically a momo, right? Like,
Yeah.
but like another kind of momo, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like you're the most like.
Yeah, I know that.
It's your part of your culture, right? Yomari is basically momo, right? But like with a different feeling, right? You could call it
Different
that.
filling and different cover as well.
So imagine this. I'm really excited about this. So you could get the tobacco, right? The tobacco.
Yeah, the tobacco.
And then you mix it with the yomari mix or whatever. You put chaku or whatever, right? And then it would be like sort of a Nepalese brownie, right? And then you put it in yomari, right? And you sell it, and you make billions.
No, billions.
Not millions, man. Billions.
Billions.
Like it would be such a good food, and it looks so like a little baby plump. Like yomari is like looks so tasty from the outside too, and then it's so chewy and everything. And then if you're like high on tobacco, right? And then you're just sitting there and then watching TV or Netflix, and then you're trying to chill with somebody, and then you're just like chewing, and then
You don't need to eat anything else.
Yes, you're just like, oh,
Like,
dude,
You're fooding yourself
and then you
getting high as well.
Yeah, it's like freaking crazy. And stuff.
Yeah, nice.
Don't do drugs, kids.
No,
Don't do drugs.
And don't copy this.
Don't copy this.
This is a very good business
we
idea.
copyrighted it. We
Yeah.
put the IP on whatever patent office we have.
Yeah, we're declaring patent from this video.
Yeah. Going back to the coffee shop thing. How many do you like to go to these coffee shops? Because I don't think I can afford to go to one because like have you seen like this podcast?
Yeah, it's the same with me. You have seen this podcast.
No, you oh think
Oh,
oh no! I know you're rich, man. I know you're
No, no,
loaded.
no, I'm not loaded.
You're
First,
Should-
I don't earn.
you don't
Much,
earn, but you
much.
invest. You invest,
I
don't
do invest.
poorly.
Poor. I take loans and invest.
Oh damn, man! It's like
I'm
you
into
should
loan. I'm a negative guy. Negative rich guy.
Negative rich. That means like you're not poor, but you borrow money to invest.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like the U.S. government.
Nah, exactly.
Anyways, coffee shops. I do like going to the coffee shops sometimes when I have like a business meeting or a date.
A date, yeah. Yes.
I don't want to talk about it, but
You want to talk about drinking coffee?
yeah. This is a joke from Reddit, from the subreddit we can't mention.
We can't mention, yeah.
So there's this
r/we
we can't mention that we should actually post it on that subreddit r/we can't mention.
Yeah.
There's this sort of celebrity, pseudo celebrity who's been on TV. I will not say who, and then we've heard some interesting things about that individual. That individual likes a lot of coffee. What kind of coffee, man?
Indian coffee, Nepali coffee, American, Mexican coffee,
Pakistani coffee.
Pakistani.
She likes
The
it.
individual has tasted a lot
Lot
of
of coffees.
coffees. Yeah.
That's what the post was about, and then this
Okay, I'll
conversation.
just search it down.
You're searching it.
Okay.
It's right here, man. You want to see this? It's right there. Like the R we can't mention is right here. You want to see the coffee thing?
Okay.
And then did you look at like the comment about that? And then there's a guy who talks about how crazy that
That individual.
that
is.
individual who searched for that and asked that question in that R we can't mention subreddit. And the viewers who don't know what we're talking about, like which subreddit we're talking about, is this subreddit which is this subreddit which I mispronounce apparently.
We're getting close.
Which I mispronounce. And if you have the ability to find out what we're talking about, go look at it. It's a very inside joke. I didn't want to do this.
Yeah. You need to go through all the episodes to understand this
Like,
joke. Yeah.
That's the one way to increase the views in your
Yes.
own videos. Did you find it?
No.
I didn't find one either.
It's okay. The coffee actually points to.
Coffee, man.
It's just
Coffee.
right?
It's just
Okay.
plain old coffee. And it's very funny. This whole conversation just went out the window when we talked about coffee. Talking about coffee and going out the window. How many of people that you know like ice cream in the winter? I like to sit down like all scrunched up in like my little under my blanket in my bed and then try to eat some ice cream, man. I like eating ice cream in the winter season.
Actually, I
I don't like
I
it.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't have a sweet tooth. I really don't like sugary stuff much.
So you have enamel tooth, right?
Enamel tooth.
Got him!
No.
No?
I think you're wrong. I think
Isn't it made out of enamel?
no, he got
Yeah.
bitter tooth.
Oh,
Bitter
I got the bitter tooth, son.
Bitter truth.
I fought in Vietnam back in the 60s or 70s? 60s.
60s.
Right? Back in Nam, I threw some napalm on some Viet Cong. I have a friend in Vietnam, and that's Viet Cong is like the slang used for Vietnamese people that the Americans fought during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
But going back to the Vietnam War. Anyways, I don't know where that joke went, but it probably went through some people's head. And
Maybe.
go to our whoosh. Anywho, yeah, there is enamel in the tooth. It is the thin outer covering of the tooth.
Okay.
So you don't have sweet tooth. Neither do I. But I have sweet taste.
Okay.
I'm a little.
You don't
bitch.
have sweet taste, bro. I don't know how you taste though, but
Sweet taste.
yeah.
Even I have.
Ladies say
if
that
I
I
take
have-
something sweet, I have sweet taste.
Yeah.
Like ladies say I have sweet taste.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Ladies. Okay.
The ladies who don't exist in this universe.
Yeah.
In this universe, outside they do.
Yeah.
Outside I'm like a really quiet guy, apparently.
Apparently.
Quiet guy.
Quiet guy. And talking about quiet guys, Shaktimaan, man. How great was
Right.
that show?
It was amazing during the childhood.
Now it's
Watching.
like kind of cringy.
It's very
Shaktimaan.
cringy right now.
And it's like as cringy as our podcast.
What the fuck?
This is like some dude. Okay, there's like we like that dude. Whoever's commenting like positive things about us.
Exactly. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And then I'm like thinking it was him who
And
like
I'm thinking it was him who made a fake ID and
like
posted.
yeah. And then it's this.
He's really defending us.
And then we're like
it
so
must
happy.
be either me or
Him. And then like I'm actually like really confused because he or she or whoever that individual is talking about like the same thing, like the same like in the over and over again about English. And I don't speak the best English. I know this because if I really wanted to, I could go and model myself over some southerner like my friends back in Louisiana. But like I don't want to because this is my natural tone of voice where I don't have to curate too much.
Mhm.
And you speak the same tone, and I do not have a problem with that. You don't have to defend us or do anything, but thank you for watching our show every week. You're our loyal viewer, and if you
And
can
thanks
like,
for defending
us,
as
but
well.
like I thought it was you, man.
I thought it was you. I talked to him as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Him or someone.
Yeah,
I
he was
think
not
it's
sure.
him.
about
It's
it, like,
Echo.
Look
You-
at the
you guys
hair,
are
man.
not-
His hair is the same as the profile picture.
what? That guy?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy
dude,
is-
your hair
that
color
guy-
is.
that
I think
guy-
it is you.
That,
Is
that
it
guy
you?
actually is me.
It was me, Austin.
That's me.
Anyways,
Okay, whoever it was, you can.
thank you for watching our show.
Just thank me.
Then
I'm
thank
right
you.
here.
It was we didn't know it was you all along. Anyways, if we're also talking about
Okay.
things that like piss us off, talking about that, how expensive it is if you're trying to call like an NCELL phone from your NTC, man. Like, why is it so expensive?
It's way more expensive than.
You know more about this. Can you elaborate more on
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, it takes about 2 or 2.5
Yeah.
rupees per call, right?
Per call, I mean,
Per
yeah,
minute,
per
right?
minute.
That's,
Or like,
that's a lot.
it might depend.
And if you call in an NTC number, it's about 1 rupee 20 paisa or 30 paisa.
Yeah.
It's more than double when you call out of the
Let's just
network.
check this right now. Like, you can call me. You've got NTC or
Yeah,
NCELL.
yeah, and then I want to check my balance.
Yeah.
What? Like, no,
Okay.
man, I don't have money. Why do you think like we shoot it in
Our
this
podcast.
Come on,
podcast?
it's for the views.
No, I'm not gonna do anything for the views. Like they
No.
said,
We're
like
not doing this for the
Okay.
views.
but they
Okay,
said like
like,
pronounce
just-
Nepal like Nepal. Well, anyways, I don't pronounce it. I didn't do it for the views.
Okay,
we do
don't
it
do
for,
it for the views, but just do it for curiosity. Like,
that's why I'm asking you. I've spent too much money on this. Anyways, but that's why I'm asking for sponsors because I need to recharge my phone. It's too hard asking.
you can ask NTC or NCELL, whichever.
Yeah, they might
Yeah,
sponsor us.
yeah.
Like, and so NTC, if you are watching, if you have a corporate show, we speak very good English, and if you need like a host in any of your shows,
just
yeah.
give him like
A
If
mic.
you want us
100.
to make your ads or something like that.
Yeah, just give him 100 recharge per day, then he'll do
Yeah.
anything.
I'll
for
do
you.
anything, man. I
Yeah,
will.
he'll suck your dick as
No,
well.
no, hell no. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but I ain't doing that, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, man, you gotta be inclusive of all individuals that are available in your society. We might be assholes, but we are not bigots here. That just went like too deep.
Serious.
Talking about that, bigotry and stuff, and then you might go to hell and stuff for doing shit like in society.
Yeah. What do you think happens after death? Your views.
See, I think the world is a simulation. Now, here's where like me watching too many conspiracy theories like plays into my thinking about what the world is, and I think like I have this belief that the world is like an experiment, right? For any experiment to begin, you need to have like a experimenter. Even if you don't have experimenter pressing the buttons, you need somebody to set up something for the experiment to work. And I think the Big Bang was sort of an experiment. And if you have an experiment, you have data points, right? An experiment is in a way a simulation. And if you have a simulation, what happens when a simulation ends? Nothing.
Nothing.
You just analyze the data afterward. We get analyzed. That's it. The heaven and hell thing is like if you're under the curve, like our data is not taken. If you're over the curve, we're positive. Our simulation gets to run over again. That's it. And that's such an easy way to like explain like
Does that mean you have an afterlife if your simulation
No,
gets
like-
to run again?
like
Is it you come back
the-
to life again or
so
something
the
like that?
for in my head
Okay.
like the pseudo philosophy that I'm developing. I might write a book one day.
Okay.
So for us, it's afterlife, right? We can't comprehend the whole universe being an experiment. Can you comprehend that? Just like a program can't comprehend that it's a program until it's self-aware. We're not self-aware, are we? Are we self-aware? Like in the grand scheme of things, no. So think
No,
about
but,
it.
But as a person, as my environment, I'm self-aware in my environment.
Right, but you are not self-aware outside of your environment, right?
Yeah.
Like an operating system is self-aware within the internet and how it connects to everything else. But outside of this laptop, how is it going to be self-aware?
No.
You guys are IT engineers. I'm asking this as a curiosity question. Is it possible for an operating system to be self-aware?
If you have sensors and actuators all over, and if you can scan everything,
Exactly.
you are self-aware.
So
The operating system is self-aware.
right, take that
Oh,
logic
yeah.
into a human being.
Yeah.
We have eyes. We can see.
Mhm.
We have sensors and actuators all around our body, right?
Yeah.
Correct? We have sensory organs. But we're not able to sense microchasms in the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
we can sense time up to a certain speed. We can see light. We can see light,
We can see light.
right? But we can't see all spectrums of light, right?
Yeah. We
So
can-
that means we don't have all the sensors in our body. That means we're not fully self-aware.
But
So-
we have devices that sense, and we have come up with the technology to
So, but
sense most things.
so
We
this
can-
this
yeah.
goes back to what Elon Musk said in the Joe Rogan podcast. Was that one where he talks about we're almost a cyborgs already,
Mhm.
but the bandwidth is slow. In his words.
Mhm.
So imagine this: we're using a computer. We're interacting through a computer, right? We're using the network of computers. In a way, we're cyborgs, but our bandwidth is slow.
Mhm.
If we could think it and if it searched it, it would be much faster. But what's the difference between thinking it, using our actuators and typing it and then it showing up versus just thinking
It's a
and showing
little
up?
slower.
Right?
Yeah.
Similarly, when we're observing through telescopes and everything else, our bandwidth is very slow.
Yeah.
So the whole afterlife notion and everything is half baked. So I can't say per se what's going to happen after death. Like, can you okay? For example, when you delete a file from your computer, and it goes to the trash bin, right?
Yeah.
And then you delete from the recycle bin.
Mm.
It's not actually deleted from your computer. Unless if
Yeah.
it's a magnetic, you wipe it with a magnet. The zeros and ones are gone.
Gone.
It's very hard to decode that, but it's still out there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's similar with us, our consciousness.
Mhm.
What do you think?
I believe that we have a consciousness that leaves our body once we're dead, but it doesn't see, it doesn't feel, it doesn't have any sensors or actuators, so it does exist.
So is it like a form of energy?
It's,
Yeah, it's a
a form
form
of
of
energy that goes out of the world or somewhere
might be
out
right.
to-
Yeah.
So I'm not
Like,
disputing your argument or saying anything. I'm just
towards the super consciousness that
So
I
I'm-
believe.
okay.
It's my personal belief that there's a super consciousness that gives us consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
and we live this life, and after life our consciousness goes back to the super conscious.
So that's more like a Bhagavad Gita interpretation of.
Kind of, but it's a little different than that.
Remix.
Okay, I'm asking this. I'm not trying to debate you. I'm just asking curious questions. This is because I'm confused right now.
Okay.
So if it's consciousness is some sort of energy, right?
Yeah.
There's a question for you too. If you want to pitch in, like you can pitch in anytime. So if it's some form of energy, can you harness that energy? Like, can you capture it? Is it possible to like we can capture the solar energy through solar panels, right?
Yeah.
And we can capture like electrical energy through batteries, or you have hydroelectric dams, and you can use capacitors to contain that energy. Can you do it with a consciousness if it's some form of energy?
Yeah, I think we can, if we have that technology.
Mhm.
We can, because have you seen the episode from Black Mirror where a prisoner is kept
Oh,
in the museum? His consciousness
So-
is captured there, and
how
he is killed over and over again
how so
for
how
eternity.
so how different is it from my interpretation? If you uploaded my consciousness into bits and bytes into a computer,
yeah, exactly.
is it how is it different from my interpretation?
It's kind of same, but the data of the consciousness and bits and bytes is way more different. I think so. You cannot digitize the consciousness. You just
But
have
you're talking about bits and bytes. What about a quantum computer? If you have a quantum computer, you don't have
bits
zeros and ones. You have 0, 1, and probably 2.
Yeah.
0, 1, and 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are like the computer science students. You guys like help me out here. I don't know a lot of this. I
Okay,
only know
even
Okay,
me.
okay,
I
tell
have
me.
to look out.
like what is a
Look it up.
quantum.
Quantum.
I don't like killing ants.
Quantum computer.
Quantum. Can you put that up for our viewers?
YouTube video?
No, like the browser thing.
Browser thing.
It's the same method as that, but you just put the hyperlink of the Wikipedia on it.
Okay.
Quantum computing. Just change the hyperlink of that. So the quantum computing is using quantum mechanical phenomena such as superposition and entanglement. Quantum computer is a device that performs quantum computing. Oh, so it has 3 states instead of 0 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh no. So it could be 0 and 1, or it could be 0 and so instead of having just X, Y, and Z, it has X and Y, it has X, Y, and Z. So in terms of data, it's like a 3-dimensional data.
Mm-hmm.
For those viewers who or listeners that want to understand this much more easily, you go to the Wikipedia page where they have a sphere where they have
You can
this.
see it in the screen.
Yeah. So
Okay, that's that's the same.
um. oh, it's very easy, I guess. So you have it could be 0 and it could be 1, and then it could be this is a good place to like sit, right?
0, 1.
And then you could have
It's like a 3D thing.
so
3D computer.
instead of having 0, 1, and 2, but it's 0 and 1, but like it has 3
Another dimension.
another dimension. Okay, see, that's why we need to Google these things. Not everybody is an expert. And talking about, let's end this here because I don't want to go an hour going into understanding quantum
Okay, we
computing.
were talking about after death, right?
Yeah, but let me go off into a
Okay.
little bit. So I've noticed this in Nepal. If you don't know everything about like a subject that you talk about, it's considered you're a loser. But that it's not the way. No, but nobody knows everything about a subject they're talking about, and don't expect everybody to be a master at everything they talk about. There are things that are out of your scope, and we should foster this kind of behavior where we should be able to let people say, "Oh, I don't know it right now. I'll research it and give it to you."
Exactly.
And the arguments you have
He
with your
doesn't
friends.
know.
Like he doesn't know. His whole valid argument for 1 hour must be wrong because he made a mistake in a decimal. I gotcha. Again, thanks to the TIA, and this is happening. And if you don't know what
Yeah,
TIA,
you could sponsor us.
yeah, you can sponsor us too.
Okay, we were talking about brain after death, right?
I don't want to talk
And-
about
you
after
know-
death, man.
Okay, what do you think about brain transplant? Is it possible? Okay, we might not be close to it, but
It is
but if
possible.
it was possible, what do you think if the man whose
Mr.
brain
Big Dick, could you like just go back to that place because it's like personal space? Or I'll go over there.
No, you can go over there.
It's pretty scary, man.
Okay, I was asking that what was I talking about?
Not because like I don't like you or anything. I don't like you that way, but it's like personal space, man.
The man whose brain is transplanted,
Mm-hmm.
is the body the man or the brain the man or the woman or
I
the
think
person?
Becky Lynch is the man. And if you didn't get that joke, go watch WWE, man. Or Seth Rollins is the man, whatever.
Okay,
I don't know, man. It's very hard to think about it. Let's ask him. Like,
what is
well,
your
well,
take on it?
what if like somebody took your head and then put it in somebody else's head?
Like
they're-
my head.
But like,
Is the person
in
me
his
or
head.
you?
Oh yeah, perfect in his head. But their nickname is Small Dick. What? Do we still call you Big Dick, or do we still like we
You
do?
still call him a big dick.
Oh, so in your head,
Even if
it's
small
Small Dick.
dick.
So because your
Because
head is
a
there.
head.
So
Like,
your
everything
head is
happens
in his
through the head.
body.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be you, but just your limbs are different, right?
Yeah.
Huh? Interesting. So how does like the DNA
For
thing?
me, I think the memories is his, right? But
Yeah.
the consciousness is mine.
So how does like the DNA work?
How do you
So-
think that?
So, so let me ask you this: how do like the
Exactly,
neurons?
I was thinking about that. If I have an offspring, whose offspring is it? Is it his or mine? Because the body is mine, right? The
Yeah.
DNA is mine, I guess. I have no idea.
But DNA have to be like it's not merged or something.
So
like
it's not you, it's not me, it's nobody, it's a different person.
So how do the
Yeah,
neurons like connect? Like
Let's not go to that because it's not possible now.
no,
it's
they
not
try to do that brain transplant thing like last year. I've heard about this.
Yeah, but they weren't successful. Right?
Were they? No,
No,
I don't know.
no, no.
But no. But the fundamental question I have is: so the head DNA is different, right? If you take like a skin sample, hair sample of the head of the person, is going to be different, and the body is going to be different. So how is like the cellular regeneration of body parts going to work if somebody gets injured? Like if I lose a finger, not lose a finger, that's a different thing. If I get a wound in my hand and then it regrows, does that part have the DNA of the person with the head, or does that part have the DNA with the person with the hand? If you're a biologist or a geneticist, you could comment about
Brain
this.
fuck.
I want to learn more about this. I don't have time to go over online and research this all of it. And if you could like just sum up this up in the R, well, we can't mention, or like our engineering, that'd be very helpful for us.
There's a Mithun Chakravarti movie. Do you know?
Oh
about it?
yeah, I know about that. I know about that.
Yeah.
And then he becomes a lady, and then
Yeah, exactly.
the lady acts like Mithun Chakravarti, and then like they put the thing in like a microwave, right?
Yeah, exactly.
that's very. Is it? Dude, Mithun movies are really like weird. Have you seen Gunda?
Gunde.
Gunda.
No, I have-
मेरा नाम है बुल्ला रखता हूँ खुल्ला. Have you never seen Gunda?
No.
Oh my God! You need to
Yeah,
watch that.
yes, it's in the screen.
The Gunda thing.
No, brain transplant thing.
The brain
It's
transplant
funny, yeah.
going on. Have you watched
He
Gunda?
comes and his friend is
Have
dead.
you not watched this movie or like the movie review of Gunda?
No.
You've never watched this on YouTube.
What is this?
Like this has like the most. It has 7.4
This
on
guy-
IMDb, man. It has 7.4 on. That's the joke, but
7.5.
7.4 on my computer, but yeah. Oh, you need to watch this. The villains are the best. You don't need to watch the movie,
Yeah, this guy looks like
Okay.
me.
dude. You can't use the fucking.
This guy.
What did he?
He just said something
N word.
at the N word.
Nepali.
We don't condone this.
Okay. 2 hours 15 minutes. I'm gonna watch it.
Do you want to apologize to the viewers? I have friends back home, like back in New Orleans. Do you want to say sorry to them?
Sorry, guys.
It's like we promise you we're never gonna use that word again.
I don't know.
It's his life, but like
Yeah,
don't
but
don't,
this is not like that. This universe we are in right now. Yeah,
dude. Like they're like the YouTube analytics is gonna come to us, and then they're gonna like hit us like big with this like thing. But it's okay.
It's okay. But
It's his personal freedom of speech
it's
and
not
liberty.
our
Yeah. Thing,
view. Yeah.
or whatever. Like we made him apologize in here, and if you social justice warriors tomorrow are gonna come at us for this, do you have other things to do in your life other than this? Like,
Yeah.
you could do productive things. You could like go say hello to your mom or cook her dinner or say hello to your grandma and grandpa instead of just thinking about us in your life.
Make others happy.
Instead of just
Yeah.
like looking behind in somebody's past where they've tried to correct somebody else's mistake and then lop everybody together in that. You know, like, I know, I understand, like, in the future you're gonna watch this video and then just isolate this just part and just say we condone this, but what to make of you? You're the one out there looking for racist words
Yeah.
proactively. How racist are you?
yeah.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
This has become too preachy, but
Okay, go watch this video, Mithun Chakrabarti's brain transplant on YouTube.
Yeah.
And comment below.
Yeah, comment below, and then somebody's using Snapchat. What's your handle on Snapchat, man?
Handle?
What's your handle? Like,
I don't
it's
know.
just Promise
Don't
21.
say the handle here.
It's-
You come here. I'm gonna comment on this.
What are you commenting
He's
on?
using a microwave
Who?
as a fridge.
Is he using a microwave as a
yeah.
fridge on there? Oh
He's
yeah,
putting
yeah.
the brain, right?
Yeah, he's putting the
Micro-
brain.
It's
Does it look
over
like chicken?
deep freeze.
Is it like the chicken meat? It's not even brain.
Different.
And then she kills herself with like bashing her head on the fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the bells in the temple, right? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's dead. And then she cuts her hair and then becomes like male, right?
Yeah, male. Deep
That-
freeze.
That is Bibek Oberoy's father. Did you know that? That
No.
is Bibek Oberoy's father right there.
I didn't know that.
Is that Kader Khan?
Yeah, that's
The
right.
late. He did some good movies and a lot of shitty movies too, man.
Good movies, a lot of
Shitty movies, man.
But he's a comedy legend.
Yeah, man. Just like close this part.
I just wanted to show the deep freeze part.
Dude, I watched this video before. It's very funny.
But did you realize about the deep freeze thing?
I thought it was a microwave. I didn't think it was a deep freeze, man.
It's written deep freeze outside.
Outside?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay, are we going to end it?
No, yeah, we should end it.
Okay, how are we going to end it?
Did-
Promise, do you have anything else to
To
say?
say?
Because
Like,
you're our guest.
Our guest today, the one who is going to get us like into a YouTube, like a controversy pretty soon in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't say that word. You can say everything else but racist stuff.
Okay.
He said
Okay.
okay.
Go on.
Let's end it. Let's end it.
Okay, let's end it. That was pretty intense, okay, by the way.
Okay.